put us to a video of these two tellies and see what one looks better. That one can instant turn on.
The local authority in Europe, Birmingham City Council, has declared itself effectively bankrupt. It says all new council spending in the city must stop, except for services that are provided by law, such as schools, social care and waste collection. And there are fears that roads, parks, libraries and cultural projects will now face cuts. The Labour-run council is struggling to pay off a huge bill for equal pay claims that dates back more than a decade. It's also had major issues with the new IT system. Midlands correspondent
Sony one looks a lot brighter than the sharp one. Again, that's the
city council here has
Sony.
Functioning. It has a legal duty to provide certain services, and they will
very
continue.
nice
This is a
tellies.
signal to government of just how dire the financial
Both buttons
situation
on the
is here.
top.
An admission that this council cannot pay its bills. The people I've been speaking to around Birmingham today say they are worried about what the future may hold. But for those who've been watching this saga closely, in some ways today has felt inevitable. The pressure on this city's finances has been rising and rising, and Europe's biggest local authority is now in big trouble.
Sony's well brighter.
In effect, declaring itself bankrupt has left many people living in Birmingham shocked and angry.
I'm gonna turn the backlight down on that one a little.
Council be bankrupt. I mean, after the Commonwealth Games last year, this city was thriving. It's a dynamic, vibrant city.
See
This
that
should never
way.
happen. This should never happen.
Again, the scenes we've got
Sad.
Its problems began more than a decade ago.
quite a
when
few
landmark
scenes on there.
against the council, which has led to it having to pay out more than £1 billion so far in equal pay claims to mostly female staff. But earlier this summer, the authority announced that it had up to £760 million still to fund to settle the equal pay
Trying to
claims.
go
And that's
back a
on
little
top
more.
of a botched rollout of a new IT system, which has set it back another £100 million. The City Council leader, who's currently abroad, he says, as part of a long-standing family commitment, told us questions on this
See
will
more
be
detail on that one in the shadows. The faces look better on that one though. You see his face. It looks like it has more detail in the sharp one.
But it's a devastating news for Birmingham
Guide.
taxpayers here, where the Labour administration had to declare that they're effectively bankrupt because of their failure to deliver proper accounts for the last 3 years and a failure to get to a grip.
Well, that's a much better
The council is responsible for
EPG.
social care, housing and waste collection. It says it will protect core services, but non-essential spending has stopped and no new expenditure is permitted. It's currently unclear what services will
much
have
better
to be cut, but could include
EPG on
parks,
the
libraries, or
Sony
even
one.
cultural projects.
The fact they've done this is the sort of the nuclear option. It's the sort of the last possible thing, because of course they know
I'll do the sound.
they're not going to get much joy. Anything that's going to do.
Supposed to herald the start of a golden decade for the city, but instead the outlook for residents is one of cuts to services instead. Navtej Johal, BBC News, Birmingham.
Well, our political editor Chris Mason is here with me. Is Birmingham a unique case, Chris?
It isn't. No, there have been more and more councils recently pressing the financial emergency button, if you like, as Birmingham has done today. Now, speaking to people
Which one
at
do
Westminster
you like the
City government,
best?
they say, look, it's down to local
Sony
authorities to sort
or the
out their
Sharp?
finances in the first instance. And there's been a few political jibes as well, because Labour
Hard to tell.
run the council in Birmingham. Obviously a Conservative government at Westminster, but some of the other councils that have had to press that emergency button have been Conservative councils. Now, if we look at this whole issue of equal pay, that's also not a uniquely Birmingham challenge. Other local authorities, Glasgow,
faces
Coventry,
look better on that one.
Cumbria, looking at it, and others likely to as well. And it comes with huge, huge bills. And then there's a bigger picture here, Rita. Now, in the last couple of years, the funding that councils have had from central government has ticked up. But if we look at it since 2010, when the Conservatives came into power, it has been under significant pressure, and that has contributed to some local authorities who then encounter other problems being tipped over the precipice, at the same time as they've been dealing with social care costs often increasing and inflation. As far as Birmingham is concerned, I don't think anything will change overnight. People there might find themselves paying more council tax in time, and because the services that are deemed non-essential are the ones likely to be cut, things like sweeping the streets or improving parks, the danger is perhaps that for people in the city it'll just feel like a less nice place to live as a result of all of this, whilst its council deals with a really difficult situation.
And Chris, on a separate front, there's another developing story tonight.
There is, on the international front. So Wagner, the Russian mercenary group, you'll remember last month we devoted a lot of time to the reporting of the death of the leader of Wagner in a plane crash. That organisation is going to be, to use the terminology, proscribed by
I really
the UK
don't know
government.
which
That
one
means
to
that the
sell.
government here believes bluntly that it is in the
think I
business of
should
terrorism,
sell
which is
the
categorising it
sharp
alongside
one.
the likes of Al-Qaeda and others. The
I
government
don't
tonight
know.
describing it as a proxy military force acting on behalf of the Russian state.
Still
They say
got
that it poses a threat
all then.
to British nationals abroad. The process of prescribing will begin in Parliament tomorrow. In terms of what it actually means in practical terms, it would make it illegal to be a member or a supporter of the group, and its assets
So
would be
the Samsung
categorised as terrorist
that
property
was there,
and seized.
someone
The
needed
Home
that
Secretary
telly.
tonight
Their
describing
telly
the Wagner
broke
group
and
as
they came and
violent,
got the Samsung
destructive,
very late
and a
at night.
monster, and describing its
And the
members
Sony's
as
definitely
terrorists,
better than that
plain and
one.
simple.
Okay, thank you very much. Chris Mason there, our political editor. The BBC investigation suggests that 3 major water companies in England discharged sewage hundreds of times last year on days when it
See
wasn't raining.
some
And
more
that's
detail
illegal.
on there,
The
but
practice
I
is
can
known
see
as
more
dry
detail
spilling,
on that one
and
as
it's banned
well.
because it can cause environmental harm.
Skin
Our
looks
environment
better
correspondent
on
Jenny
that one.
reports.
Rural West Sussex and one of southern England's celebrated chalk streams.
So here we are, welcome to the River Lavin, or as we locally call it, the River Lav. The River Lav is full of effluent.
Rob, a retired businessman, is not joking. There would be no River Lavin in the summer without the treated discharges from the next door sewage plant.
We had the storm overflow coming out here, untreated sewage coming out here.
Last March, Rob found and filmed a spill during dry weather, illegal under environmental law. Much to his annoyance, Southern Water, the company involved, only received a warning from the Environment Agency.
They treat it as a one-off, absolutely, whereas